Hey there. Today, I kind of want to share a case study story of a client I think really exemplifies the importance of sort of liability management, having access to different tools in the liability management space. And what I mean by that is different products across the breadth of conventional mortgages, lines of credit, reverse mortgages, and so forth. So you can really do, I think, holistic planning. And I believe personally that as a lending professional and liability advisor, you need to have access to all that in order to really be able to give people effective advice. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Martha. Martha is in a situation where she needs to get funds for two different reasons: to do potential renovation to the home and also to be able to pay for ongoing care. Now, Martha is the client, but the conversation is taking place between her daughter, who's a client of mine. Or financial advisor has been brought in this conversation, and so forth. Now, Martha's in a great situation because she owns a home free and clear, therefore has a lot of equity. The home's worth about $1 million. And so they're really trying to figure out, how do we pay for care, pay for these renovations? Is cost important? Is cost not important? There's a complicating factor, the fact that Martha and her husband are currently in an assisted living facility and hope to return home, but we don't know that for a fact, right? So that might affect how the mortgage or liability plan is actually structured. So we have to really talk through all these different variables. So at the end of the day, I'm going to show you this in a moment. At the end of the day, we talk about a home equity line of credit, we talk about a conventional cash out refinance, and we talk about a reverse mortgage. And I'm going to share that with you here. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going into significant detail on everything here, and because you can download this and look at it later on. But essentially, here we are, right? So Martha's 79, her husband, care facility, adult children in the planning, financial advisor involved in the planning, fixed income, a large asset, their home free and clear, and so forth, right? So they feel like they need about $300,000 for paying for care for the folks, and also to potentially renovate the home. If they move back home, they need to do some renovation. And if they don't move back home, then they need to potentially do some things which create a higher potential rental income for the property. So a lot of complicated moving pieces here, which I think is going to become more and more common as people move forward. So you'll see here I've summarized all the different reverse mortgage options here. We talk about, if it's a reverse mortgage, you have to live in the property. So it's not going to work if they don't return home. You could potentially get a home equity line of credit or cash out refinance. If they don't live in the home, those options become available, but at higher rates and higher costs potentially. And so we talk about monthly payments, the impact on the cash flow. Reverse mortgage obviously has no payments. Line of credit has interest-only payments. Cash out would have almost $2,900 a month in payments, right, between taxes and insurance and so forth. Lots of different stuff here. We talk about rate and cost. We talk about the equity impact over time, right? They want to be conscious of what's going to happen to the equity in the home for the heirs potentially as well. And so excuse me. Sorry about that. And then what's the funds needed for care, right? If they move back home or stay in the facility, both have pretty significant costs, as we know. And so we kind of have that laid out here. We have the most money available in the reverse mortgage and so forth. All right. So we have a summary kind of over here as well on the entire case, between the goals, the liability options, and so forth. Again, I'm not going to go to either one of these. I will tell you this case is still in progress. It's still moving because, of course, the parents still need to make a decision if they can come back home or not, and so forth. So the clients at this point are pulling together all the different options, thinking about what to do, gathering paperwork. The really great thing about this case is it involves multiple other people, right? So we have CPAs talking about taxes and cash flow. They're trying to keep the home in the family down the road. So you've got Prop 19 considerations. There's estate planning coming into play here. And of course, their financial planner who's trying to figure out how to preserve the assets. There's a little bit of money left in their other assets, but not a lot. The home is going to have to become a part of this big plan. So check it out. Download the handout, the PDF handout there. And I hope you learned something. Thanks very much.